Hello, friends. Welcome back to the podcast. Today, we are talking about one of the most important steps in creating an aligned business, and it's to make sure that you choose the right business model so that you are thriving not only as an individual, but your business is thriving as well. And so, let's talk about what it looks like. And I've got some interesting tips for you today because my friends, an offer is not the same as your business model. And we're going to be diving deep into this, but not selecting the right business model. This is something that I see all the time with entrepreneurs. It's not even that they haven't selected the right one, they haven't even thought as far as the fact that they need a business model and understanding the difference between that and your offers and how that structurally sets your business up for long term success. And in this episode, I'm going to tell you which parts of your human design that I focus on when creating an aligned business blueprint, when helping people pick business models, design their offers, all of these things. We're going to have so much fun today. So stick around because it's going to be a great one. I also have an amazing announcement that the Aligned Business Blueprint is officially open for enrollment for the fall 2024 cohort. This is the exact process I went through to evolve my business from my personal coaching brand to the up-leveled business vision that's coming to life as we speak. Going through this process is something that is so important for businesses at every stage, whether you're starting, you are pivoting, you are evolving, you are scaling. Creating a aligned business plan, an aligned business blueprint is literally what's going to help you get there so much faster. And y'all, this is more than an average coaching program. It is truly a hands-on interactive business experience where I take you through all of the key parts of strategic business planning. And my friends, this is where we get shit done to make your business vision a reality. And one of my favorite parts of the program is that each member of this cohort will receive one of my highly sought after human design for business deep dive readings, where I tell you how your human design applies to your business, directly telling you how things could look in your business, really diving deep on what that appropriate template is for you. And this is something that we do before we assess your business. So when we start to look at what is currently happening in your business, we have this foundation of your human design deep dive and know how to identify what is aligned and what is unaligned and needs to be let go. And then we work together to craft your business plan to really bring that business vision that you have, that next level business vision to life. So if you're looking for clarity, direction, and confidence in the future of your business, hop on a business alignment call with me to see if this program is right for you. You can get more information at www.spiritualbusinessincubator.com/blueprint. This link is also going to be in the show notes and in my Instagram, but I highly encourage you to check it out if you have been wanting to create that aligned business blueprint and really bring your future business vision to life. All right, y'all, let's talk about finding the business model that is the perfect aligned match for your next season of business. And when I say your next season of business, what I mean is you want the future of your business to look different than the past. And this is so important because that actually takes a conscious declaration and a conscious choice to say that you're going to want something different in the future. And many of us desire that and think that we want more sales, we want more time back, we want more flow or ease. But making a conscious declaration and choice that the future is going to look different, first of all, sends a message to the universe to start helping bring all the things together. But this is truly a co-creative process. Your business is a co-creative process. And you have to declare first that you're wanting something new and also being open to what that could look like. Because as I said at the beginning of this episode, so many entrepreneurs started their business and just wanted to get their service out there, created offers, and didn't really think about what the big picture vision of their business would look like, especially for the long term, right? So many people are out there just hoping that whatever they create will take off, or that hoping that they're doing the right thing. And y'all, business planning has existed for all of time. This is something that is a foundational principle of business success. And creating an aligned business blueprint or aligned business plan is so important. And choosing your business model, which I'm going to give some definitions here in a minute, is a key part of this, because that's where you like structurally actually start to see your business as a different entity than it was before, or even just as an elevated, like completely refined. And maybe the best way to think about it is like, you actually will understand how all of the structures of your business are meant to be built. And this is going to give you so much confidence and clarity in what you are building, that you will know how to be spending your time, your energy, all of the different things to make that actually a reality. And so, to find your perfect aligned business model, we first need to get clear on the difference between a business model, an offer suite, and an individual offer. And so I'm about to drop a little business strategy lesson here, and then we'll dive into the specific parts of your human design so you can consider what you might need when choosing a business model. And a common thing that I see all the time is this thing where entrepreneurs are creating offer after offer and really aren't pausing to look at the big picture, how those offers either are meant to fit together, if this one is going to replace one that you had before. It's almost like we just keep starting over. Or you created something, it sort of has gotten some traction, but you don't know how to leverage it or scale it into the big picture of your business. And what's really interesting is so often I'm seeing entrepreneurs who, part of that, the reason that they're jumping from offer to offer is because either they want to do multiple things at once, but don't have the structure in place to support them to do that, or are not yet clear on how all of those possible different offers not only fit into how they're supporting their clients, but fit into the model that you want to build to achieve the income and impact goals that you have in your business. So when you are focused only on creating individual offers, when that's the first place that you're coming from, you may not be thinking about how they fit into your intentional offer suite. And then ultimately, what business model is going to give you the structure to support your vision. And in my opinion, this is a huge recipe for burnout, wasted time, wasted energy, and a ton of wasted money. And so we are elevating ourselves and our businesses, and we're going to start being intentional and looking at that big picture and designing all of these components together. And that starts with picking your perfect business model. There's a quote that I love by Stephen Covey that says, "Begin with the end in mind." And when I work with clients in the aligned business blueprint, the first step is always to get clear on the ultimate vision that you have for your business and how that is meant to support the life that you want to have. And I'm going to go so much farther into this topic actually on next week's podcast episode. But I want you to have this piece in your mind as we start talking business models and all of these different things, because if your goal is to be on the beach, drinking champagne, hanging out with your family, working 20 hours a week, or taking a whole month off in the summer, that is an intentional, conscious choice we have to make and bring into our business design process so that we know that's what we need to build in: the structure, the income, the support, all of the different things, the timing of how we build the business. All of it matters. And all of these pieces are designed differently based on the life that you want to live, and also what supports you might need based on the season of your business, the size of your business, and very specifically, your unique human design. You're going to need different people based on the different parts of your design in order to achieve your vision, especially if you are being intentional on wanting to achieve it by a certain period of time. So let's dive into some definitions. The definition of a business model is the overall plan or strategy a business uses to make a profit. So you can see if you haven't selected a business model and you're maybe struggling to have a profitable business, yes, you might be bringing in a ton of revenue, but maybe all of that money is going out the door and you may not even know where it's going, or you're using it on things and you're still feeling burnt out, or maybe you haven't even gotten to the income or revenue threshold that you want to. You can see that this definition is directly connected to profit, and it's not by picking your offers, it's by picking your business model. And it helps define how you as an entrepreneur create, deliver, and capture value in a way that you are sharing that with clients, not just you as an individual person, but your business entity, the vision that you have in how you're serving people. Your offer suite is a collection of offers, of individual offers. And this is so interesting because they are designed to meet various needs of your clients, but also designed in a way to meet you where you're at with your amount of time or energy, whether that's from a human design perspective or the fact that you are a mom or volunteer or have a part-time job, like all of these different things. But your offer suite is twofold. One is to make sure that you are supporting your clients with packages that actually are serving them at the different stages that you want to serve them. And also that whole suite of offers, the multiple types of offers within it, are aligned to who you are and what you're trying to create in your life and your business. And so then an individual offer is what we're so used to, right? It's essentially a package, because most offers are not simply just a course or a coaching program. There might be a mix of one-on-one and group coaching. You might have Voxer as part of it, or you might offer certain bonuses, guest experts. All of those components make up a single offer. And then, and not to say that every offer has to be very complex, but understanding that an offer is really a package, right? It's a certain service for a certain period of time at a certain price. And you having that offer is really important, so that then you can make a offer suite of a variety of those to not only support your clients, but support yourself and your income goals and your impact goals. And then all of that leads into the business model that you choose and how you're ultimately delivering all of these things in your business. And why this topic is so important is because there is a client that I have been working with who has had a very successful one-on-one coaching program for a long time. And she came to me to create a business aligned with her human design. And this is where it's so important to work with someone who actually understands business, because yes, I could have given her all of the amazing information about human design, and I did, and the gene keys and how that impacts her messaging and her marketing and how we design her offers and all of the different things. But then when we got to the part of the aligned business blueprint, when we are forecasting or looking at our future finances and how the offers that we're creating are leading to the income that's coming into our business that ultimately then supports the business model and structure that we're designing, it was clear that even though she had this amazing idea for an offer to help people that was going to be essentially like a graduation program or something that's going to support her clients after working one-on-one with her, when we mapped out the numbers with the amount of time that she wanted and could spend doing coaching work and client work, that her income was going to stay stagnant under the current model with the vision that she had, because she was thinking originally from the place of what offers do I want to create to serve the clients that I love to serve. And when we started to look at her business model and start thinking about what other not only offers do we need to bring in, but what is the structure that needs to exist so that her time, which is the most valuable, her one-on-one time, which is the most valuable that you have, whether that is with a client, creating content, networking, marketing, growing yourself, working on your inner child, all of those things. Like your time is so valuable. And so that caused us to actually not only change some of the offers in the individual offers, but look at the whole offer suite in a different way of how the clients then were going to be working through her programs and her services. And then this was really interesting is she had to identify what things that she's currently doing as what I would maybe call a self-employed entrepreneur, as she is moving up and wanting to not only have more income, but more support, a team, hold more capacity for more clients, all of that. She needed to identify what things she was going to be handing off, delegating, automating, and that business model. That truly allowed us to start looking at that and seeing it from a different perspective. So I share this with you because just because you create another offer does not mean that you are going to, that it's a good offer to get you to your income goal. It might be a great offer to serve your clients. And so let's be intentional on how we're doing all of these different pieces. And when you start to look at it from this bigger perspective of the business model, she now doesn't feel like she's trading her time for money because we've built in a model that has support structures in place, that her time is valued where it needs to be valued. She's got multiple offers in her offer suite that support her clients in different areas. And that's where all three of these things really lean together, and why it's important that we're looking at all of them at the same time when we are designing our aligned businesses. Now, let's dive into the parts of human design that I use when I'm taking clients through the Aligned Business Blueprint program. And there's actually quite a few of them, but I'm going to list out just a few of them here. And I'll be continuing to create content in my social media. If you have more questions about this, absolutely jump on a business alignment call, because this is a really important part. It's not just one thing in your human design. You really have to look at several things and see not only how they interplay together, but also if there are any pieces that might contradict one another, and how you can be really intentional with what you're creating. And I'll give you some examples after I list out these different parts. And the different parts are your type, which is your aura. It's how your energy is meant to interact with others. That's if you're a generator, mani-gen, manifestor, projector, reflector. This matters because it's not just how you're interacting with your clients, right? Your aura is how you interact with your employees, your team, your collaborators, with any person. And the point of business is to engage with other people and support them. And there's a human exchange to that. So understanding how you are meant to show up so we can leverage that is really important. The next piece is your profile. This is the role that you're meant to play to stand out in your industry. And so an example that I love to give is if you had two generators who were both healers, but one had a 1-3 profile, which is the investigator and the experimenter, and another one is a 5-2 profile, which is the heretic and the hermit. And I'm actually renaming all of these. You may have seen that already on my social media, because these old names do not apply well to the future, especially in business. But the generator who is a healer that has a 1-3, she's going to be doing a lot of teaching as part of her healing programs, because people are coming to her for not only her knowledge that she's gained through her research, but through her experiences and her experiments. Whereas the person who is the healer that is the 5-2, they might have a business where they are still doing healing work, but they're not teaching as much. Maybe they are, it's a lot more experiential. Maybe they're delivering Reiki healing to somebody, or they are facilitating an experience where you're not learning a lot, you're eating different foods, or you are being immersed through an experience that is healing, but it's not focused on the education as to why everything's happening. You're just really going through the experience. And so that from a business model perspective is important to consider. And from offers, offer suites, literally all the parts, because then we understand how to help you show up not only as the best version of yourself to the people that want to do business with you, are meant to do business with you, but also understanding how to position you within your company, how to design your business around you. So, for an example, that personal branding that you see so many coaches do have in the online space, there are certain types and profiles that would absolutely like own that and embody that so well. And there are others that don't want to be the center of attention. And call yourself an introvert or an extrovert. There's actually indicators in different parts of your human design chart, and also strategically from a business model perspective, like growing a personal brand business versus growing a business brand business. They take different steps. You build structures differently. Your time ultimately gets spent differently. And so understanding these things, your profile, will help give you clues if you don't know yet what you want that structure to look like. I also dive into the centers, which is so important, because then understanding where you have that consistent energy, that fuel, regardless of whether you are a Gen or a Manny Gen, but these areas that you have lit up in as your defined centers, they're going to give you a lot of information of what types of things you are best at. So then when we're looking at your business model or anything else, as we're looking at your business model or anything else in your business, it's going to like be intentionally designed in the areas that you have consistent energy. And then the areas that you're undefined, we're going to be intentionally building in support structures through automation, through hiring, through all of these things to make sure that you are supported in those areas and can keep moving forward as quickly as you want. A couple other areas that I just want to high level mention at the moment, like looking at your environment, which is the vibe that you are most confident in and the vibe that your clients are seeking from you. Like from a business model perspective, someone who has maybe a markets environment is going to be creating a very structurally different business than someone who has a caves environment. And that is from the offers that you create, from the offer suite that you create, but also from a structural business model perspective. One is going to have more things going on, more events, probably if your markets, or more interactive things, whereas the caves might have like much deeper long-term containers. And so the support structures, even to bring those two different types of things to life, are very different. And so knowing this about yourself, knowing how this all helps you refine and pick out the right perfect business model for your type is super important. We always dive into other things like your gates, your channels, your digestion, like how you process information is so important. But always, friends, no matter what advice you hear out there, always defer back to your strategy and authority. If there needs to be a tiebreaker, if you need help making a decision, having this truly be your clarity maker, because trusting yourself and your strategy and authority above all else, like you are the CEO, the founder, the person who is creating this business. And ultimately, what is right and authentic with you is what is right for your clients and what's going to help your business be the most successful. And so my role here is to help give you options, help you see what possibilities are available, and give you guidance through your human design on how to practically choose those different pieces of business. But at the end of the day, this is why cookie cutter businesses don't work, because you are meant to have a unique business because you are unique. And so no matter what advice you hear out there, always trust your strategy and authority to make those aligned decisions. And if you keep doing that, making those decisions in alignment with your authority and taking action in alignment with your strategy, you will get to where you want to go. You will make the impact that you want to make. And all of this other stuff with business planning and human design, like what we're trying to do is help make that process easier for you. So let's keep doing that, because understanding the different parts of your human design and being intentional on how you structurally and strategically build your business will exponentially speed up not only your fulfillment, but your profitability. And that's like a full stop, friends. This is what I'm here to do with the Spiritual Business Incubator. I totally understand this from a business perspective with all of my experience and knowledge, having a master's degree, actually doing this in the real business world, like being an entrepreneur essentially my whole life. And then knowing that all of the strategies will work. So trying to find the way that we can do it in the most like efficient and effective way for us as individuals, in a way that makes us feel like we are so excited about what we're creating that we can't wait to keep creating it, can't wait to do the next thing, see the vision for beyond what's just ahead of us, but really for the long term, because that's what I hope you want in business, is to be in business for a long time. If you started a business, I know that there's service and care, and that doesn't just go away. So let's be intentional and let's create an aligned business together. So now I want to just give you, I'm just going to call it a case study, but this is, I want to give you an example of how using your human design is going to help you structurally, how it could structurally change the way that you would do business. Because when we are building businesses, like I said, every business model, structure, all of them work, but it's really important for you to pick the right one for you and your design. And when you are truly aligned, that's when you stop wasting your time, your money, and energy on things that are not meant for you, that you might not be good at, and that are not getting you closer to where you actually want to be in your life and business. And so this case study, this example that I want to give you, let's all agree that at the root, businesses exist ultimately to solve a problem or fulfill a desire. And there's a whole lot more to that, but that's like a really foundational, simple concept. And your role as an entrepreneur, as the founder of your business, is to make decisions on how that business is structured and operates in order to solve that problem or fulfill a desire. And this process can absolutely feel extremely overwhelming because there are a ton of options. And you're likely hearing something new every day, that this is the best way or that is the best strategy. And like, they all work, right? So when you're choosing on how you're going to invest and design your business, this is why having that aligned business plan at the beginning is so important, because then you know which coach to invest in, you know which skills to hire, you know which supports you need, which systems you like, all of these things just become so much more clear, and your ability to make decisions and take action is going to be so much better. And that's how we get to profitability, fulfillment, all of the things so much faster. We're going to cut out all of that time when you're trying to figure it out, because we're going to take the time to figure it out. And it takes way less time if we do it all together than if you're trying to do it along the way. But for this example, right, where we are solving problems or fulfilling desires, I want to use the area of just marketing and content creation and explore how a person could choose different business models that achieve the same outcome, but in different and unique ways. And this is why the business planning process works, because both of these are very lucrative, profitable, like absolutely good business ideas that achieve the same outcome, my friends. Solve the same problem, fulfill the same desire. And I'm giving you this example because I want you to hear how starkly different these are, because not only would it matter based on your human design, which of these models that would make more sense if this was you trying to make decisions, but also understanding that there are options and that you can achieve the same goals for your clients and the same goals for yourself in different ways. You just need to have someone who can show you the options, that can help you look through the catalog of all things business, right? That will help you then figure out what's aligned for you. And that's what I'm here to do. So this problem or desire that this marketing and content creation entrepreneur is solves for people is to get a reel to go viral. And this is there's so many ways. I'm sure you've heard even some of them, like this is talked about all the time. You know, why people might want a reel to go viral. It might grow their audience, exposure, visibility, credibility. There's so many different things. And you are the expert at viral reels. And you're like, of course I can solve that problem. This is exactly what I do. Every reel I've ever created goes viral, and I absolutely can do that for my clients. There's two different business models that I want to show you or explain to you, and how you as the viral reels expert could absolutely fulfill on that, solving that problem, fulfilling that desire, delivering that solution of a viral reel. But these are starkly different business models. Model A is that you decide to become a coach who works closely with clients, either in a one-on-one or small group capacity, teaching them how to create their own social media content that goes viral. This involves a lot of like close interactive work with people, deeply understanding them like at a personal level beyond just the content that they're creating. You're really getting that one-on-one connection, building deep relationships. And the model involves you spending your time, either one-on-one or in a group capacity, working with the client. And at the end of the day, you do an amazing job and your clients love you, and there are viral reels everywhere. You've got an amazing referral network, and now everybody's sending people to you because you're the person. That is one way to build a business that helps people get reels that go viral. Another way is this option B, this model B that I have, where you create a content creation agency, and you have a team of people who are experts in the different social media things. You've got graphic designers, you've got copywriters, you have a team of people that know how to take that person's idea and help not only them create it, but your actual services in this model would be that you are creating content on their behalf. And this is also totally legitimate, totally right. People can get viral reels all the time by stuff that an agency might create for them. All of the different things, same thing happen. Your clients love you. They want to refer people to you. Like, you've got amazing testimonials, all the things. But your role in model B is very different than your role in model A, where model A, if you're the coach directly working with people, you're spending a lot of time in that like coaching energy and doing that coaching type of work. Whereas in model B, you might be guiding more. You might be leading a team. You might, yes, be talking to the clients in different ways, whether that's to sell them into your services or to get to know them in the beginning so you can guide your team really well. But you are actually, instead of guiding the entrepreneur, teaching them your knowledge, you are gathering information from them, making sure the right people in your team have it disseminated, access to the right things, and then ultimately creation of that reel. And this analogy is so important for a few reasons, because you can see how both models can 100% solve that problem, fulfill that desire, right? Give the client what they want. But I want to point out a couple of really important things about you and your client, because depending on your human design, you may like one of these models so much better, or maybe because of the life that you're trying to live, or even maybe the season of business that you're in. There's a lot of reasons that you might choose one or the other. But when I was describing those, I would actually encourage you to tap into yourself and like really reflect, did one stand out to you more than the other? And this is the whole point of business planning, is to explore the options before deciding to go full steam and build something. Because let's say that you're the person who picked that one-on-one coaching model because it felt easier, and you're a projector and you're now super burnt out. You're also a mom, you volunteer on the board, you are doing all the things in your community. There's so many things that you're doing. And that's not just a projector. That could be, you could be tired and burnt out in any model as any type. this is just the example that I'm using, and your gift is truly to guide people, and you thought that might be through teaching, maybe you needed to explore an agency model. And even if you're meant to teach, how do we incorporate that into the agency model so that you have a little bit more of that space that you're desiring? Another thing I want you to consider is, what does your client actually want from you? And market research is a huge component of this. This is like a fundamental part of business. But when I'm going through this question with the aligned business blueprint people, we really look at certain parts of your human design to identify what is it that your clients want from you. Because what you have, what's defined in your human design, these are the gifts that you're here to give. And that means that those are the gifts that your clients are meant to receive. Just like the things that are undefined in your chart, these are gifts you're meant to receive. So you might want to hire somebody that is doing things for you, or that is teaching you, maybe in different parts of your business, maybe in different seasons of your business. But understanding how that all works together is really important, because first, you have to build the business that makes sense for you, that you're going to be able to sustain and enjoy for the long run. And then also, the business that you're designing, you have to not only believe, but get proof that it is going to actually work, that this is what your clients want. And part of that, yes, works through some testing, but also being really intentional, having faith, doing market research, all of these different components, and using human design to give you clues, give you ideas of words to use in your messaging or in your content, give you ideas of what the transformation looks like that you're giving people. All of this stuff matters. And that match, that combination is so important, because let's go back to our viral reel example. In that model, like, you might, if as your client, might want to learn. I have a client who loves creating her own content, like loves, does not want to give it up, no matter how successful she gets, because it really fuels her. And she wants to learn more ways, right? That's not her expertise, but she loves doing this. And so she might want to work with someone who's coaching her to teach her how to do it better. Versus, I have another client who absolutely gets a block every time we're creating content. And it's not even the content part, because she is an expert in her own trade, but it's actually the graphics and the captions and the hooks and all of these other pieces that totally get her off track. And so being intentional, first of all, reflecting and knowing that about yourself, but there are indicators in your chart for all sorts of different things that will tell you that, yes, you do have more of those creative juices. So sure, maybe this is something we hold on to longer, or yeah, it makes sense that this is something that totally burns you out. Let's be intentional about delegating that and getting you the support you need so you can focus on your zone of genius. And so, friends, what I want you to take away from this is truly understanding that the way that you structure your business, the business model that you are picking that is perfect for you, this is something that is so fundamentally important when you're trying to build a long-term sustainable business. And even if you're just getting started, are you getting started because you want to give up in a year or keep changing directions? Or have you been changing directions and really are tired of it at every stage? Like I said, whether you're starting, you're pivoting, you're evolving, you're scaling, what you start with is creating that business plan. And the model, not just the offers that you have in each stage, the model is such a fundamental part, because when you love what you're building, when you're building it in an aligned way to you, you are going to show up so much more confidently. You're going to have clarity and direction because you know what you're doing. You're not getting to your computer in the morning wondering what's the next thing that you need to do, or feeling burnt out by having to do another thing that may or may not be aligned for you, may not be getting you where you want to be in your business. Like, taking the time to create that really comprehensive business plan. This is why 71% of the fastest growing companies in the world, and in the United States for sure, according to the International Trade Organization. Like, this is important. And if you haven't gone through the business planning process, I highly encourage you to jump on a business alignment call with me. Like I said, you can get more details about the program at www.spiritualbusinessincubator.com/blueprint and just start exploring what this could look like, because this is how you get the confidence to show up as your best self. And when you are fully aligned and confident in who you are and what you're creating, you are magnetic. You are vibrating at a higher frequency, which is attracting higher level clients, which is attracting more aligned clients. It is attracting opportunities, collaborations, so many things that are that's so important at the end of the day for your business to be successful. But when you are wondering, when you're sitting back, either hoping or guessing or doing random things, like your vibration is in scarcity, the way that you're coming off to your potential clients, to collaborators, to like anybody who feels like they might even consider working with you, that's on us as the owner, entrepreneur, founders of our business to hold the confidence that we can deliver what we're meant to deliver and know that we have built our businesses in an intentional way to ensure that we are doing that for our clients in the best way and for ourselves in the best way. All right, now, after this deep dive into business models, offers, offer suites, all the different pieces of business from this perspective, I hope this gives you some clarity on how the different layers are involved in designing your business, why it's really important to look at specific parts of your human design when we're designing these things, and making sure that each layer is intentionally designed to not only be sustainable, scalable, but like profitable and fulfilling for you in your life and your business. So I hope you enjoyed this episode, got so much value and insight into your business, how to be more successful, more profitable, more fulfilled. And I hope to see you on a business alignment call. I hope you explore what it looks like to create your aligned business blueprint, because I cannot wait to see the amazing things that you are going to do in this world. And the faster that you get to do that, the more income and impact you're going to make in your life. So until next time, my friends, cheers to your success.